The Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) expresses fresh fears over the upcoming off-cycle elections in Edo and Ondo State. A building under construction at Erowo-Jobe, Maryland, Lagos collapses, leaving 5 people dead and a couple others injured. On foreign scene, a strong typhoon made landfall on China's southeastern coast after sweeping across the nearby island of Taiwan, where it caused landslides and flooding. This is the reason more we come to you shortly. Just stay with us. Another news in full. The Nigeria Governors Forum has reiterated its commitment to improving the security and protection of lives and property at the subnational level. In a communique signed by its chairman and Kwara State Governor Abdulrahman Abdulrazak after their meeting late Wednesday night, the NGF emphasized the importance of implementing robust security measures to ensure the safety and well-being of citizens within their respective states. The announcement followed the forum's meeting early Thursday morning. They said the NGF received a presentation from the Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Mohammed Pat, on the Nigeria Health Sector Renewal Investment Program, while providing updates on the sector-wide approach, the Basic Health Care Provision Fund, Primary Health Care Revitalization, and National Supply Chain Management. The governors reiterated commitment to enhance health outcomes for all Nigerians. The Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) has expressed fresh fears over the upcoming off-cycle elections in Edo and Ondo State. Chairman of INEC Mahmood Yakubu reiterated this stance on Thursday when he appeared before the Senate and House Representatives Committee on INEC with other commissioners. Correspondent Kuluju has more. He particularly noted that apart from a strain on state facilities, there is also the issue of governors using power of incumbency to the detriment of all the opposition parties and the candidate. Speaking specifically in Edo, Mahmood noted that despite the challenge of flooding, there is also the issue of security. Correspondent Kuluju reports that the head of the electoral umpire further expressed worry over the alleged deployment of operatives of the Edo State Security Network (ESSN) to cause commotion during the September 21st polls.
We are faced not only with the 2 major off-cycle elections in Edo and Ondo, but we also have these by-elections outstanding. Right now, we have 7 vacancies to be filled, 7 by-elections to be conducted. Just to refresh our memories, we have outstanding or pending by-elections, House of Representatives, Babura Garki, Federal Constituency of Jigawa State, Chikun Kajuru, Federal Constituency of Kaduna State, Bagwai Shanono State Constituency in Kano State, State Assembly, Ibadan North, Federal Constituency of Oyo State, it's a federal constituency.
While outlining the activities for the Edo and Ondo elections, the INEC boss said submission of all polling agents will be done 30 days before the respective elections. He added that 17 candidates will be contesting the governorship position in both states, with Edo fielding the only female candidate in the entire polls. On the autonomy of the local government, the INEC boss said the law is yet to be amended, stressing that the same law that established the commission equally gave birth to the local government councils. The Chairman Senate Committee on INEC
also creates the state independent electoral commissions. So it is up to the National Assembly to amend the law to transfer that responsibility to INEC. If that is done, the question is, can INEC cope? Because we have also been saying that we should be unbundled. That is true. But we have never said that we should be unbundled beyond the conduct of electoral activities rather than elections. There are 2 activities we handle.
Has been the person who is taking all the blames about the elections in Nigeria. But because of our relationship with you and proximity, we are able to see that you are doing a lot of work. And that's why one of the things that this committee has decided to do is to go around the country, zonally, to be able to ask for inputs from our people across the country with respect to the coming electoral reforms.
A building under construction at Arojabeb, Maryland, Lagos collapsed in the wee hours of Thursday, leaving 5 people dead and a couple others injured. Galaxy's Bami Salako, who was there at the site of the collapse, completes the story.
The cool, somber weather of the day testified to the sad incident that hung gloom and grey clouds over the William Mba Strait as Galaxy's team go to the scene of the building collapse. Residents are seen trying to make sense of the building collapse. They granted no interview because for them, it wasn't the right time for talking. However, we got audience from one of the emergency response team on ground.
The building under construction. Response effort yielded a good flow because we were able to rescue 5 of the victims alive. As I speak, 5 numbers of dead male adults, and that's sad. So that's exactly what is happening. No one has come forward to say he or she owns the property.
As the rescue operations are still ongoing, neighbors were instructed to leave their houses so as not to be affected from vibrations of the excavators, as cracks were already visible on some of the neighboring buildings. With the reality of expensive building materials, constructors and governments are called upon to step up their games to prevent unnecessary loss of lives.
Government needs to get up. They have the bodies who are supposed to look at some of these things like sun. Cement, we don't have too much of a problem, but iron rods, formwork, woodwork, all those things, you have problems.
Currently at our William Mba Street, number 13, Arojabeb, this is where the building collapse happened. And as you can see around us, people here are still shaken by the event. When we spoke to one of the PRs of last week, what they are telling us is that they're trying to move away people who are around this place to avert further damage, because why they are trying to evacuate people from there, although we do not know if other people are there at this time, but the emergency operation is still going on and they're still trying to find out if people are still there, and then they're trying to get people away from these buildings because the vibration is too much, and then they are afraid that this could still further impact the houses. Bami Salako, Galaxy TV News, Lagos.
Gas explosion has destroyed a commercial building at 9 Abiodun Aina Street at Agbule Taylor's bus stop in Agbulegba, Lagos. The explosion occurred in a building comprising of 2 shops and 2 rooms, which resulted in a raging fire that engulfed the entire structure. Fortunately, there were no occupants in the building as at the time of the incident. Therefore, there was no casualties, no injuries recorded due to the incident. It took the prompt response of Lagos State Emergency Management Authority, LASEMA, by deploying its Dolphin response team from Igando base to prevent escalation of the fire to other parts of the street. Vice President Kashim Shettima has launched the Nigeria Police Green Initiative in Abuja, highlighting the intricate link between national security and environmental challenges. He emphasized the global threat of climate change, citing its consequences on weather conditions, water bodies and agricultural yields. Correspondent Kunuju reports that Shettima praised the Nigeria Police Force for taking proactive measures to address climate change, aligning with international goals to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. The Vice President, however, reiterated the government commitment to innovation and partnerships in driving Nigeria's transition to a green economy, ensuring a resilient, secure and sustainable future.
There is no part of the world that can claim to live in denial of the realities of climate change today. The consequences are everywhere, from our unstable weather conditions to our water bodies and the yields of our farms. No person or place is spared from this threat to our ecosystem.
Inspector General of Police Kayode Egbetokun revealed that the Nigeria Police Force has developed a comprehensive framework for implementing the Nigeria Police Green Initiative. The initiative aims to achieve energy transition in the medium term by adopting renewable energy as a priority and default energy source. The Director General of National Agency for Science and Engineering Infrastructural, Nasani Khalil Halilu, pledged continued support for the initiative.
With immense pride and a great sense of fulfillment that I welcome you to the official launch of the Nigeria Police Green Initiative. This landmark event signifies a major milestone in the evolution of the Nigerian Police Force and underscores our unwavering commitment to environmental responsibility and innovative policing. Climate change poses the most existential threat to humanity, affecting our ways of life, means of livelihood, socio-cultural existence, intercommunal interactions, and the natural world.
At the same COP28, Naseni and Rural Electrification Agency partnered with a Chinese company to sign an MOU for establishment of a $150 million lithium-ion battery manufacturing processing factory in Nigeria, currently undergoing construction in Lagos.
You're still on to Galaxy News. Let's quickly take a break, and when we return, the news continues. Just stay with us. We're glad to have you back. Now, for more updates and latest news, please visit our website www.galaxytvonline.com. Connect with us on our X handle at Galaxy TV. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/GalaxyTVNews. You can follow and interact with us on our Facebook page, facebook.com/GalaxyTV. Don't forget to follow and tag us on our Instagram page at Galaxy TV. You can also avail our eyewitness feature via WhatsApp. If you have breaking news around you, simply share your story by sending short clips or videos of the news on 0818-666-669. Our social media platforms are user-friendly and can always accommodate your live updates and comments. The lawmaker representing Idiota Federal Constituency in the House of Representatives, Honorable Ikenga Ugochinyere, has said that repositioning the oil sector for the growth of the economy is paramount in the National Assembly. The lawmaker made this known when he led all the lawmakers to Port Harcourt, the River State capital, on a 3-day conference of the downstream and mainstream sector. According to the federal lawmaker, the allegation of importing adulterated petroleum products in Nigeria is their main mandate.
About how to reposition the downstream sector and make it more effective and efficient, both the midstream and downstream. It's one of the reasons why we are here. If you will recall, on the 9th, the 10th House of Representatives set up a joint committee, a joint forensic investigative committee of the midstream and downstream petroleum with a 15-point mandate, which is to first of all find out the factor that is militating against growth in the downstream and midstream petroleum sector.
Also speaking on the Rivers political crisis, Honorable Ugochinyere cautioned the police against taking sides.
As a Nigerian, not because I belong to any interest or any divide in the struggle, that respecting the rights of the people should be paramount to the police force. And the police force should not act in a way to show that they are giving undue advantage to the Abuja-based politicians. The governor deserves some respect. The people of Rivers State deserve some respect. Indiscriminate arrests, indiscriminate attacks, these are things that is unwelcome and not acceptable in any democratic setting. And I want to appeal to the Inspector General of Police. Here have been very peaceful. That is why our retreat is holding in Rivers State.
The chairman of the House Representatives Committee on Industry, Honorable Eniton Dolapo Badru, has emphasized the need for legislation to align with contemporary needs in skills acquisition and management. Honorable Badru spoke at a public hearing on the bill to amend the Industrial Training Fund (ITF) Act 2011, which aims to clarify ambiguities, define key terms, and enhance revenue sources. The lawmaker noted that the existing legislation enacted in 2011 requires updating to reflect the evolution of skills acquisition and management over the past 13 years. He assured that the 10th House will remain committed to passing legislation that improves citizens' lives. Badru encouraged stakeholders to provide input, promising that the committee would synthesize the views and present a reasonable position to the House for adoption.
It's all in the process of getting the best first. Because the artisans, we are not talking about professionals here. The artisans are more than all the professionals in all the fields combined. Those of us who wanted to make a change tried to do by making an amendment to this bill. Now, anybody you want to bring from over there, if it's an artisan, if he didn't go to school, let's certify them.
The public hearing is focused on grassroots and developmental issues. The Committee on Industry organized the public hearing after the bill's second reading, which came up on July 11, 2024. The minority caucus of the House of Representatives has urged the federal government to engage in dialogue with planned protesters to address their concerns. Caucus Chairman Honorable Kingsley Chinda discouraged protest due to insecurity concerns but asked the government to consider the protesters' messages and resolve issues amicably. The caucus also called for a carrot and stick approach to address insecurity, ensuring visible result and protection for Nigerians. They urged the government to create opportunities for citizens to be self-reliant, moving beyond palliatives to address economic downturn.
And we want to assure Nigerians that because we have no other country, we will do everything possible to safeguard our nation, Nigeria. We considered issues that has to do with insecurity in our country. We considered issues that has to do with economy. We considered issues that had to do with unemployment.
The statement followed an end-of-session dinner in Abuja where the caucus expressed gratitude to its members for the support. The dinner aimed to foster unity and appreciation among minority parties in the House. Ahead of the planned nationwide protest, the defense headquarters has warned that the military would resist any form of violence and anarchy that may arise in the course of the planned protest. Director of the Defense Media Operations, Major General Edward Buba, will give the warning today at the bi-weekly briefing of the various activities of the military and other security agencies in Abuja, stated emphatically that the military will not watch any anarchy befall Nigeria as a result of the protest. He noted that indications show that they are plot by unscrupulous elements to hijack the planned protest and turn it into a violent one, replicating the recent protest turned anarchy demonstration in Kenya. He said the troops will act dutifully to forestall such ugly occurrences from happening in Nigeria. General Buba added that the citizens' constitutional rights to peaceful protest does not warrant mobilization for anarchy. He, however, appealed to Nigerians to take into consideration the timing and atmosphere of the hardship in the country that could make the protest degenerate to violence and maintain cool heads in order for the government to further remedy the current hardship in the country.
Areas targeted. Accordingly, the level of violence being envisaged can only be described as a state of anarchy. The armed forces on its part will not stand by and allow anarchy to befall our nation. This is because we have seen wars and have witnessed anarchy in countries in which we have operated, particularly during the times of ECOMOG or during our peacekeeping operations in various countries. For the events of the week, during the week under review, troops neutralized 106 terrorists and arrested 164 persons across the theaters of operation.
Nigerians have been advised to adopt peaceful and intellectual approaches to address the country's challenges rather than resorting to protest. Leaders of a northern socio-cultural group, Rebuild Ariwa Initiative Development, made the appeal at a news conference in Abuja ahead of a planned nationwide protest. The president of the group, Balarabe Rufai, while presenting the position of the over 50 civil society organizations, acknowledged the right to protest, but highlighted the often violent outcomes of such actions in Africa, citing examples from Libya, Sudan, Kenya, and Nigeria's NSAS protest. He emphasized the need for alternative approaches to address Nigeria's pressing issues, including security challenges, economic instability, social problems, and political corruption. The group proposed solutions including multidimensional security committees, improved welfare for security personnel, technological innovations to combat insurgency, revitalization of infrastructure projects, economic reforms, and social services. Rufai warned that neglecting these solutions could lead to further national discontent and protest. He urged the government to commit to these solutions and citizens, especially the youth, to adopt peaceful and intellectually driven advocacy, emphasizing the importance of political maturity and responsible actions for Nigeria's future.
Recognizing the right of every citizen to peacefully protest, we remain cautious of the fact that political maturity is still lacking in our system. We are yet to develop a strong shoulder to withstand the pressure, consequences of our selfish actions, and weather the storm when the atmosphere turns bleak.
And we also believe he will act. He just requested that Nigerians should have patience with him. This is part of the patience. We've had enough patience, and this we are doing is part of the patience that Nigerians are having. This is why we are saying, most especially the northern youths, don't go out there in the name of protest to protest for anything, because somebody spoke about security. We are already having security challenge in Nigeria as a country and in northern Nigeria in particular.
And I'll move over to the foreign desk for more news. Hello and welcome to the foreign news. A strong typhoon made landfall on China's southeastern coast on Thursday evening after sweeping across the nearby island of Taiwan, where it caused landslides and flooding in low-lying areas and left 3 dead. Typhoon Gemi had swept up the western Pacific, intensifying seasonal rains early in the week in the Philippines, where the death toll climbed to 22. Offices and schools in Taiwan were closed for a second day, and people were urged to stay home and away from the coastline. 2 people were killed on Wednesday before the storm made landfall around midnight, and a 78-year-old man died after his home was hit by a mudslide on Thursday afternoon. And that's all we have on Galaxy News. Thank you so much for being a part of the news. My name is Nenwa Gimezaka. Do join us by 9.